Welcome to Renee Wright Yoga. If you're new to this channel, I'm Renee. I'm a yoga instructor offering intermediate yoga classes that you can do from your home. Hi. We'll begin this one. This is a 35-minute flow in child's pose. So bring your blocks if you have them to the top of your mat. You can use them if you'd like. And stretch your arms forward. Allow your forehead to melt down to your mat. And take a nice big exhale. Take a breath into the backside body. And exhale, let it go. Stretch your fingertips forward, engage your elbows off your mat. And come into tabletop. Hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Tuck your toes. Inhale, gaze up, tailbone lifts. Open your heart. Exhale, round and curl it out, chin to chest. Tuck your toes, cow pose, ribs are soft. Exhale, coil out for cat. Dip the tailbone down. One more. Inhale, gaze up, tailbone lifts. Exhale, round and curl it out. Come to a neutral spine. Expand your left leg back, your right arm forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to elbow, chin to chest. Inhale, lengthen, extend. Exhale, knee to elbow, squeeze in the core. Inhale, lengthen, extend, pause. Bend your back knee, reach around and clasp the top of your foot. Open out through the heart. Take a breath and release it down. Shift your tail right to left. Extend your right leg back, your left arm forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to your elbow, round and curl, chin to chest. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to elbow, chin to chest. Might be hard on the balance. Inhale, lengthen, pause, bend your back knee. Reach around, clasp the top of your foot. Full breath into the heart. And exhale, release the knee and hand down. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Shift your hips up and back. You can pedal out through the feet. Draw the outer shoulders down and continue to lengthen through the elbows as you press away. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale. Inhale, rise to the balls of your feet, bend your knees, and crawl your feet towards your hands. Ragdoll, clasp opposite elbows, bend your knees, sway it out side to side, shake out your head. Draping your chest towards your thighs, release your hands, and roll up one vertebra at a time. Reaching your top, crown of your head lifts, shoulders roll back. Inhale, reach up, palms touch. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up, gaze up. Exhale, flat back, take it down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, high plank. Shoulders in line with your wrists. Beam out through the crown of your head, engage your quads. Slightly dip your tailbone down and lower as you exhale. Inhale, cobra, heart expands high. Exhale, release, slide your hands back. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, release, tuck your toes, press up to high plank and downward facing dog. Inhale, rise to the balls of your feet, bend your knees, gaze forward, right foot and left foot, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, flat back up, palms touch. Exhale, bow to your mat, take it down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, chaturanga, cobra or upward facing dog, breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, rise to the balls of your feet, bend your knees, left foot, then right foot, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Root to rise, flat back up, palms touch. Exhale, bow to your mat, release and let go. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, high plank, low plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, rise to the balls of your feet. Bend your knees, gaze forward, step to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Utkatasana, chair pose. Weight into your heels. Arms expand high. Hug your glutes in. Draw the outer armpits. Spin them down. Lift your chin off your chest. You can wiggle out through your toes. Take full breath. And exhale, forward fold. Let it go. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right leg up and back, open out your hip, bend your knee, circle out your ankle. Stretch your right leg straight, dip your hip down, inhale, lengthen, exhale, knee to your nose. Inhale, lengthen, extend, exhale, round, knee to your nose. Inhale, lengthen, pause, knee to your nose, gaze forward, step it through, crescent lunge. Squeeze into your inner thighs as your shoulders stack on top of your hips. Chin off of your chest, full breath. Exhale, bend a little deeper, bend through the elbows and reach your arms forward. Draw your right hip crease back. Let your chest hover on top of your thigh. Little weight onto your back foot. All the weight is pressed into that front heel and open out to warrior two. You can heel toe that back foot back. Broaden in your chest, squeeze down through your shoulders. Low as you can go, pause. And reverse your warrior. Inhale. Exhale, extended side angle, right forearm, right thigh. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, float your hands down, spin to the ball of your back foot. Squeeze into your inner thighs, expand your right arm up for a twist. Good. Pick your left hip up and twist from the upper back. Plant your right hand down to your mat. Half split. Shift your hips back. Take a breath into your heart and fold with an exhale. Draw your toes back towards you. You can put both hands on the outside of your right leg and gaze back over for a greater stretch. Plant the sole of your right foot down. Crescent lunge, high lunge, full breath. Plant your hands, chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg up and back, open out your hip, bend your knees, circle out your ankle. Stretch your legs straight, dip your hip down. Inhale, lengthen, press the heel back. Exhale, knee to your nose, round and curl out your back. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose, shoulders on top of your wrists. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to your nose, pause, gaze forward, lightly step it through, high lunge, crescent lunge. Sink it low, bend through the elbows, chin off of your chest, take an exhale. Inhale, reach forward, draw the left hip crease back, and pause. Let your chest hover to your thigh, come light on the ball of your back foot. Gaze just beyond your mat and then open out to warrior two. Spin your back heel down. Broad through the chest. Sink low into that front thigh. And reverse your warrior. Inhale, right arm reaches down, left arm up and back. Extended side angle. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, float your hands down, spin to the ball of your back foot. Plant your right hand down, left arm up for a twist. Draw the right hip up, pin the left hip in, ground down the left big toe, then plant your left hand down, half split. Release your back knee, shift back, straighten into the front leg, and fold with an exhale. You can take both hands to the outside of the leg, gazing back towards the back of your mat. Crescent lunge, plant the sole of your left foot down. Inhale, lift high, gaze up. and plant your hands, chaturanga. Cobra or up dog, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift high plank, side plank. Roll to the outer edge of your left foot. Stack your right foot on top of your left. Reach the right arm up towards the sky. Maybe find a float. You could lift the right leg up. Right arm can expand forward, bicep towards your ear. Then tap your foot behind you, wild thing. Heart lifts. Downward facing dog. Shift forward to high plank and roll to the outer edge of your right foot. Stack your left foot on top of your right, press away from your mat, squeeze into the shoulders, start to bump your right hip up off the mat. You're still pressing away. Find your fullest expression. Left leg lifts, then tap it behind you. Arch in the upper back and flow through chaturanga. High to low push-up. Breath in, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, rise to the balls of your feet, bend your knees, step or float top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Utkatasana, chair pose. Breath in, heart lifts. Hands to your heart center, and let's twist. Left elbow, right knee. Press your right palm into your left. Swivel your chest to the right. Sink it low. Hug your glutes in and breathe. Shoulders are soft, breath is soft. One breath. And sweep it back up to chair pose, arms, and then let's twist other side. Right elbow hooks your left knee. Point your left elbow up towards the sky and continue to press into the hand. Hips lower than your heart. And forward fold, release, and let go. Slide your hands under your feet for Padahastasana. Palms face up. You can wiggle out your toes, relax your neck, give your hands a little massage, and release your hands from your feet. And roll up to stand. Shoulders peel back at the top, crown of your head lifts. Hands to your heart center. Right knee lifts, figure four. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. Sink back, way back. Weight shifts back into that left heel. Then arms reach forward. And once you reach forward a little more, you can point your tailbone back even more. Sink into the pose. Breathe into the pose. And press your weight into your standing leg. Right knee lifts, hands to heart. Warrior three. Shift your right leg back. Option to take those arms forward. Dip the right hip down. Lift from the back inner thigh. Have a soft bend into your standing leg. Revolved half moon. Right hand reaches down. Take the right hip with you. Stamp the foot back behind you. Left arm reaches up, expands high. Breath in. And left hand reaches back down to your mat. Shiva squat, knee behind your knee. Inhale, lengthen, press it up, and pause for standing leg split. You can open out the hip for a moment, then start to dip the right hip down and play with the balance. One hand or two hands wraps around your ankle. Maybe the elbows wrap around the calf. Place both hands back under your shoulders and forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees. Inhale, come all the way up and hands to heart center. Other side, left knee lifts, figure four. Left ankle crosses your right knee. Point your tailbone back, sit bones down. Reach your arms forward and breathe right here. One more. Press your weight into your standing leg. Lift the left knee up. Arms will come with you. Full breath. Warrior three. Shift your left leg back. Arms reach forward. Drop the left hip down. Lift from the back inner thigh. Little arch in the upper back. Soft bend into the right knee. Revolved half moon. Release your left hand down. Right arm reaches up. Drop the left hip. Expand the heart open to the right side. Standing leg split. Release your right hand down. Lift your left leg up. Option to stay here or play with the balance. One hand, two hands around your ankle. Elbows can reach around the calf. Drop the left hip down, lengthen through the back knee. Release your hands down and forward fold, let it go. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right leg up and back, inhale. Warrior two, step it through, spin your back heel down, open out. Inhale, reverse your warrior, triangle pose, straighten your right leg, reach forward, and reach towards the right side of your foot, the outside of your foot. And slightly lean your upper body back as you expand up. Can you gaze towards your hand with your right eye? And maybe cut the horizon. Left arm reaches over, bicep towards your ear. And bend back to warrior two. Reverse your warrior. Extended side angle. Left forearm, left thigh. You can stay right here or take a half bind with your arm, left arm wrapped around your back. Right arm scoops under. Draw your pelvis forward. Your upper body back. Think a little arch in your upper back as you breathe. More weight is on that front foot. Unwind back to warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Wide-legged forward fold, toes in, heels out, hands under your shoulders. Option for a tripod headstand here. Just release the crown of your head down. Draw your elbows in. Your feet start to walk back. And then lift up. Hold here. Squeeze your knees and your ankles together. Resting on that crown of the head. Stack your hips in line with your shoulders. And slowly come on down. Wide-legged forward fold. Flatten your back. Arms reach up and out. Warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, float your hands down, spin to the ball of your back foot. Release your back knee down. Take your right arm and stretch it behind your back. Press your foot into your hand. Full breath, little arch. And release your hand. Both hands come down to your mat. Tuck your back toe under and downward facing dog. Left leg up and back. Warrior two, step it through. Open out, reverse your warrior. Inhale. Triangle, straighten your left leg. Reach forward. Hand on the outside of your foot. Left eye, right hand. Breathe, slightly hug the inner thighs in. Maybe cut the horizon. Right arm over your head. And back to warrior two. Bend into the knee. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Extended side angle. You can hang out right here or release your hand down to your mat or your block, half bind or full bind. Press your pelvis forward. Notice if you're leaning into the thigh, can you pick up your side waist? Open in your heart, little arch in the upper back. One solid breath. And start to unwind warrior two. Press into that standing leg. Straighten both legs, toes in, heels out. Interlace your hands behind you. Breath in and forward, wide-legged forward fold with a bind. You can stay here or at any time reach your hands back down to your mat. Place your hands down, lift your hips up, Skandasana surfer pose. So fan your right toes open and shift onto the right side. Hands to your heart center. Chest lifts up. You can use the knee to gently open out the knee, or use the elbow rather to open out the knee. An option to find a half bind or a full bind. Peace fingers can connect back there. Stretching the chest over to the left. And releasing both hands down and walking over to the other side. So fan your left toes open. I find it easier if you're really getting down. You can keep your hips pretty high. But if you're down where I am, if you walk your hands under your seat, you can sink back a little further and find your footing, your balance, and your hands can draw to your heart center a little easier. And then maybe that half bind happens. Peace fingers can wrap around each other. Draw the tailbone down. Breathe. And let's find wide-legged forward fold. Heel toe your feet a little closer together. Heels in, toes out this time for a big squat, big wide open sumo squat. Hands to heart center. Draw your knees back, your tailbone down. Feel the outer edges of your feet grounded down as well as that big toe. Then open your arms to goddess and mudra fingertips. Inhale, reach your arms up. Come through the heart center and back open to warrior two. Reverse your warrior and float both hands down to your mat and flow. Inhale, up dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift to high plank and lower those forearms down for forearm plank. Elbows and wrists are parallel to each other. Elbows are under the shoulders. Beam out through the crown of your head. Engage into the quads. Pull the navel into the spine. And let's walk it up to dolphin pose. Walk your feet closer towards your elbows. Your hips lift up as high as you can. An option to expand your right leg high. And release it down. And other leg, left leg high. And release it down. Walk it even higher. And release. Walk your feet back out to forearm plank. Pause, forearm plank. And lower your knees and your hips down to your mat. Sphinx pose, chest reaches out. Your elbows and your hands drag your chest through. Then you can drop your chin towards your chest to relax and stretch in your neck. And lower all the way down. Set up for locust pose and we'll pop right into it. Lift your legs, lift your arms. You can interlace your hands behind you. Squeeze into the core and lift a little higher. You could stay here or bend your knees and clasp the tops of your feet. Press your feet into your hands and start lifting the knees as high as you can. Heart opens out. And lower it down. Hands under your shoulders. Let's press it up to high plank and downward facing dog. Pedal out. Give yourself a moment. And sink down into child's pose. Knees connect. Arms rest behind you. Forehead rests down. And you melt, finding that breath back into the backside of your body. Feeling your heartbeat. Roll all the way up. Set your hips on top of your knees. Widen your knees to the outer edges of your mat. And grab your right hand to your right ankle and lift your left arm up. And let's switch sides. Left hand, left ankle, right arm up. Lengthen up. Find that arch in the back. Walk both hands forward. And crawl your knees forward. Knees wide, big toes touch. Hands behind you. Hero. Start to drop your forearms, your back down. If your back is coming down, make sure that your knees stay flat onto your mat. You want to feel a stretch into the quads, but not so much strain on the knees. So if you need to keep your hands or your elbows down and leave your chest lifted, you can. Or if you're on your back, reach your arms up over your head and clasp opposite elbows. Breathe here in through the nose and out through the nose. Just taking another moment to enjoy it. And slowly work your way back out of the pose. Knees pull in, walk yourself back to tabletop, and press back downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg high. Scoop it through half pigeon. Knee to your right wrist. Ankle to your left wrist. Square your hips. And start to let those forearms rest down to your mat. Keeping that breath long. Doing a little scan, check in of the hips and the heart. Start to lift back up. Slowly ease out of it. Tuck the back toe under. Downward facing dog. Option for three-legged dog for a moment. Counter stretch. You can tap the foot behind you. You can reverse your dog. Reverse your dog into full wheel. Stretch your heart forward. An option to flip back over to downward facing dog, or just tuck your chin and lower down, knees into your chest, rock it side to side. Some of you might still be in downward facing dog, or you just did the three-legged dog. So just hang out in downward facing dog. You can pedal out your feet, and I'll work my way there. Downward dog, left leg lifts and scoop it through half pigeon. Knee to left wrist, ankle to right wrist. Shin parallel to the top of your mat. Hips are squared. Let the forearms drape down. And enjoy. Take a breath in and exhale. I like to give a little time for some extra stretching, especially in our hips. Especially if you do a lot of sitting throughout the day, this is super beneficial. And we've worked quite a bit of the glutes. Lift your chest back up. Slowly work your way back to downward facing dog, three-legged dog. You could flip your dog, maybe into full wheel. Stamp it back behind you. Shift your heart up. And maybe, like I did, you might have to drop your crown of your head just softly onto your mat so you can rotate your hands around and find full wheel. And tuck your chin, lower all the way down, or maybe you flipped back over. If you're on your back, hug your knees in. If you're in downward facing dog, just pedal it out. Rock and roll back up. Downward facing dog. Last down dog. Rise to the balls of your feet, bend your knees, float your feet through to a seated position. Expand your legs long. Inhale, reach high and flat back, forward fold. Inhale, lift in the heart, and exhale, fold, reach towards the toes. Soles of your feet connect, knees wide. Fold forward. You can use your elbows to gently press your knees open, your thighs open. Lift back up in your chest. Slowly make your way down to your back and hug your knees into your chest. Rock side to side, massaging your lower back. Open your arms into a T. Set your hips off to the right side. Then take supine twist. Cross your right knee over your left. Let your knees dip to the left. Gaze to the right. Start to unwind, and let's go to the other side. Just scoot your hips over to the left, knees in, wrap the left knee over the right, dip your hips to the right, and gaze to the left. Unwind, center out your hips. Soles of your feet touch, knees wide. Hands rest where it's comfortable for Supta Baddha Konasana. Release all your air. Take a breath in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. When you're ready, release out into your final resting pose for Shavasana. Roll your shoulders under, slightly dip your chin towards your chest. Let go of your breath and let go of the need to be anywhere than where you are right now. Begin to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Stretch your arms up over your head and lengthen out in both directions. Bend your knees and roll over to one side. Pause for a breath. And press yourself up to a seated position where your hands connect at your heart center. Thank you for joining me today. Namaste.